Okay, Olga, please.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Olga Sosa, and I'm here with the Community Language Cooperative. I'm here because the organizers of this event have believed in language justice. What this means is that we want everybody to participate in the language of their heart, the language that they feel more comfortable in. And to make that possible, we will be using simultaneous interpretation. As soon as I finish saying this in Spanish, you will see a global icon at the bottom of your screen. I do encourage you that you select the language that you feel more comfortable if you want to hear everybody in their language. If you are working on a tablet or on a phone, you will see 3 dots at the right side. You can click there and you can add interpretation there. For all the presenters, I please ask that you at a conversational pace, because just to remind you, Spanish takes a little longer to say than English. Hola, buenas tardes. Mi nombre es Olga Sosa y estoy aquí con la comunidad de lenguaje cooperativa. Estoy aquí porque los organizadores de este evento han creído en la justicia del lenguaje. Lo que eso significa es que queremos que todos participen en el idioma de su corazón, el idioma en el que más se sienten confortables. Y para hacer esto posible, estaremos usando interpretación simultánea. Cuando yo termine de decir esto, usted verá un globo de icono en la parte de abajo. Le pedimos que, por favor, si no es bilingüe, usted elija el idioma en el que más se sienta confortable. Okay, Joe, we're ready for interpretation to be added. Listos para interpretación.
Doing that now. Okay, it should be good. I don't know if anyone is on the Spanish one, but Olga, if you can give me a thumbs up that it's activated.
Olga, estás en mute.
And I think I think she's just speaking on the Spanish side. But
Oh.
it looks good to go. Okay. Thank you.
Right.
I'm getting positive thumbs up. Okay, everyone, welcome. Happy New Year. Welcome to the January meeting of the Bachman Northwest Highway Community Association. It's a special meeting because we are teaming up with the Friends of Bachman Lake to have a Neighbors in the Know meeting. And so we have it's a good lineup of just informative updates here. This evening, we have friends from the Parks Department here. We also have friends from 311, and then also I think we joining us is Dallas Police Department for our typical or usual Crime Watch update. See him moving. I want to give him the privilege just because he is online. I don't know, Omar, if you can hear me. I don't want to. I know your time is always sensitive. Happy to. I don't know if you're just listening in, but if you wanted to, if you wanted to make any statements beforehand, no pressure to at all. But I saw you online. Good, just good for now. Okay, awesome. Okay, then with that, Susanna, if you want to maybe introduce our first guest, we're going to start with our Parks Department, and then we'll move on to our 311 training of sorts.
Sounds great.
We'll begin with Parks.
Thank you, Joe, and thank you again for coordinating these meetings. Happy New Year, everyone. Feliz año. We decided to kick off the year strong with an update, a collaborative update with the Bachman Northwest Highway community and other neighborhoods in the area, because we're all very interested in the updates that are happening at Bachman Lake Park, not just the skate park, but also the approvals that we have received for projects from the bond program. And although it's not a project that Parks funded necessarily, we wanted to let you know that the nature trails at the Bachman Greenbelt, which is 2 The east of Lemon Avenue, behind the Embassy Suites, is now open. We hope to do a ribbon cutting ceremony this year, but this is a great opportunity for folks in the community. We love Bachman Lake Park. It's a very urban park. You can see the planes taking off and landing. This is a corner that is tucked away. It's more about nature. It's the trees, it's the shade. And we're recovering this 40 acres that has been abandoned by removing privet and planting Texas natives. So it's a very different experience than the park itself. And I just wanted to let everybody know that that is there. We've done quite a few updates on our website. You can find information there about the trail. So I'm not going to take any more time to discuss that. I want to introduce Chris Turner Noteware, Jared White, and Tanya Lane, who are on the phone, on the call today, to provide an update about the projects that they have going on at Bachman Lake. So Chris, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Susanna, and good evening, everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I think probably one of the things that you're most interested in is the Bachman Lake Skate Park. So I will go ahead and give a brief update on that first. The overall construction for the skate park is approximately 90% complete. We have different bowls within the skate park, and the pool bowl and the flow bowl and the street area and the snake run are almost 98% complete. So what we have remaining is the water fountains surrounding sidewalks and flat work, installation of benches, picnic tables and trash cans, and then cleaning up the area and installing sod, adjusting the light fixtures, removing the chain link fence, and then installation of metal picket fencing to protect the horticulture buildings. And we'll also be working on the gravel parking lot on the south side of the skate park. So right now we are tentatively expecting this project to be complete at the end of March, and that is the Bachman Lake Skate Park. We also do have a public art piece that is going in at the Bachman Lake Skate Park. The Office of Arts and Culture is working on that with us. And they basically had a request for qualifications out to the artists, and the deadline for submission was December 13th on that. So they're putting together a selection panel to review the submissions and recommend a finalist, and that should take place in late January or early February. Specific dates haven't been set yet. And as I said, the intent is to put a mural at the end of the snake run, which will be the art piece that we have at Bachman Lake. So looking at our 2024 bond program, we've got a couple projects that are in the first year of the 2024 bond. We basically have a new environmentally friendly parking lot for the Aquatic Center and the skate park, which is to be located across the street from Bachman Rec Center. And that is in the first year of the bond program. We're getting ready to start design on that parking lot within about the next month, and then anticipate it will probably go to construction in the fall. And then additionally, we have the Bachman Lake Auditorium renovation, which we have design slated for year 2 of the bond, which is fiscal year 25-26. And we have construction of that slated for fiscal year 26-27. And that's about a $1.5 million enhancement to the renovation, or excuse me, enhancement to the auditorium in the recreation center. Then we also have replacing the playground next to Bachman Lake Pavilion. This will be an all abilities playground. We have about $750,000 in here. So we'll be looking at doing that. And we also have replacing the all abilities playground at Bachman Lake that's currently there. So we have 2 playgrounds that we're working on. We have the auditorium renovation, and we have the parking lot that we're working on as part of the 2024 bond. And then we do have some trail connections projects that are scheduled for year 2 of the 2024 bond as well out of Bachman Lake.
Chris, a couple questions on those, just to clarify. So year 1 is the parking lot, and year 2 is auditorium
Year
playground.
2 is, year 2 is the design for the auditorium renovation. And then
Okay,
construction is in year 3.
okay,
And then we have 1 playground that the design is in the 3rd year of the program, fiscal year 26-27. with construction in fiscal year 27-28. And we do have one playground that has design that we're working on getting started here within the next month or two for construction in fiscal year 25-26 for the other playground.
Okay, so one playground would be ETA is 2026 and the other one is 2027.
That is correct.
Okay. Do you know which one is which?
I don't. I will ask if any of my team on the line can clarify that for us.
If the, yeah, we'll let them clarify. And what did you mean by trail connections with the, while they're looking that up?
Basically, we have $250,000 programmed in the bond to try and do connections across the street and do some of those connections in the neighborhood that we've been talking about, looking at potentially the bridge over Northwest Highway in that area.
Yeah,
And
I think all those got moved to transportation. I think these trails are more than likely the ones that we talked about implementing that would like interconnect the skate park to the recreation area, which currently there's no internal trails within Bachman for that. Because I thought that parks totally removed everything that was external connectivity because that was viewed as transportation.
This line item, to the best of my knowledge, we're still coordinating with transportation to see if there's anything that needs to be done on those external trails. And then
Okay.
otherwise, you're absolutely correct, Susanna. It is to connect the skate park with the rec center and do some of that internally on the site.
Yeah, sounds good. And obviously you'll be on the call later on this month with transportation. So we'll get
Yes.
up on that. Cool. Great. Great.
And as far as the playground next to the Bachman Lake Pavilion is the one that's estimated to be the later playground.
Okay.
Or the one next to the pavilion is the later playground.
Pavilion and the one by the little kids one by the rec center is 2026. Okay.
Correct.
Good to know.
Are there any other questions that Park Department can answer?
I have just a quick question. With respect to the mural, will there be any opportunity for public input on designs? Will you post it so that people can, oh, I really like this, or I realize it won't be a public decision, but I think having public community input would be very valuable.
The Office of Arts and Culture is heading that part of the project, but we can certainly relay to them your desire to have a public input on that. I don't know what their plans are at this point, but we can certainly talk with them about that and relay your desire to have that public meeting and that public input.
Chris, this is Laura Gavena. So typically when there is a public art project, they do have a community component where they'll do surveys. Usually the District 6 newsletter has something, and then they will also go to community meetings and give some samples and get feedback. So they do a pretty good job at getting community input before picking a final piece.
Thank you, Laura. I appreciate that.
Yeah, sounds good. And feel free to use this venue. I'm sure Joe would be happy to host an art discussion session, art appreciation session, right, Joe?
Always looking for more things to discuss for sure. I,
Uh,
I have a question around, I think this was solved way back when, around lighting for the skate park.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yes, lighting has been installed. It's actually already up, and it's already installed. It's just being wired. The final wiring is being done. So there is lighting to the skate park.
That's great. And in terms of a ribbon cutting / community celebration for the skate park opening, do you have any details?
We do not at this point. We will be coordinating that within the next month or two with the Council District 6 office as we get a little bit closer to the finalization date of construction.
And Chris, this may not be your area, but I will ask anyways. There is an area of the park that is behind the Walgreens that is rather abandoned and sketchy looking. The homeless like to hang their hammocks in between the crepe myrtles that are there. And it's park property. The especially what used to be, I think, like a service drive, that's actually park property. Parks had identified that as a really good potential area to plant some trees. That is not within the runway protection. We have a lot of limitations, as you know, and what we can do with trees because of the airport. But this is not in the runway protection zone. And but what would need to be done is a removal of the asphalt. And I didn't know if that is we were thinking maybe that there could be funds within parks to assist with that, because that doesn't fall under normal maintenance, but I also don't think it falls under planning. Where does that go? Where does an ask like that go?
We can talk with our park maintenance and operations division and see if that's something that they can work on for us. If they have, tree planting or any available trees that, could be planted, and then we would have to talk with them
Trees
about
isn't the
prepping that
problem.
site.
We've got a source of trees.
Okay.
We have the trees with Texas Trees Foundation. In fact, they're planting 80 trees with the approval of airports. We worked through all of that this year. It's more of a planning for 2026 planting. But in order to do that, we need the asphalt removed, in the plan for this year. And I don't know who to tap for that. Would that then be a message I send to Renee and Christmas
Yes.
McMaster?
Yes,
Okay.
please. That would be the perfect people.
Got it. And then a final question. Once again, it's parks in general, not specifically planning, but I think I would like for the District 6 leadership to hear the question as well, because I think it's an enhancement that is needed in the 311 system. And since we have 311 on here as well, I want them to hear this example, which was we had one of our good friends of Bachman Lake who walks the park at all hours of the day and night. Waymond is his name, and he submitted several 311s regarding burnt out lights along the trail. The 311 was actioned by Parks, as it should have been, but it was closed with no explanation, just closed. And the reason was that they didn't have the component parts to fix the lights, but all the citizen sees is that it was closed with no resolution, right? Because it's still broken.
Right.
I was able to follow up internally, find out what the problem was. Once it got fixed, obviously but that's unnecessary. There should be a suspend state on the 311 while the city is getting the component parts. The 311 should remain open so that the citizen knows it's being worked, but they're waiting for a part, instead of the 311 being closed because there's maybe an effort to just, action it. So that's just a park example. It really doesn't, it's not something, it's in your area. Once again, that's maintenance, but the 311 team is on here. So maybe when we jump into that conversation on 311, I definitely would like to understand whether a suspend state is an enhancement that the city is considering. Okay. So, thank you. Thanks, Chris and Jared. And I think something that is not mentioned because it's not in the parks for our bond, but I would like the community to be aware of this, is that there a significant amount of transportation dollars, and we alluded to this earlier with Chris, that have been approved. And some of those transportation dollars will be for safe crossings along Northwest Highway. So for example, a signal light at Timberline, which is very dangerous. We're looking at a couple other signal lights to be able to create safe crossings for pedestrians. Another bond that will help connect the park to other trails in the city would be a complete street on Denton, heading north from Bachman Station along Denton Drive all the way to the North Haven Trail. So those are some pretty big transportation projects. Another one is going to ultimately be the also a complete street, potentially along Lover's Lane. The point simply being that trying to form connections east and west and north and south, so that Bachman is just not left alone hanging out there with no connections to other trails in the city. So that's a dream. Next year, we will have the implementation and the opening of the Lemon Avenue Trail. It is funded by aviation, but it's actually a trail that enhances the overall trail system for the area. And I think ultimately Midway Manor Park will fall also under the park department. So even though that wasn't an update that Chris provided today because her team isn't managing that project, it is something that will benefit the community in terms of trail and parks. So we have some really good improvements that will be happening even beyond Bachman Lake Park itself. So, thank you again to your team for the update. Joe, back to you.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Well, that's a perfect segue that your 311 story there, Susanna, to now Mr. Rodriguez, who's here with 311 to kind of give us a little bit of a training, I guess, or just a better processes, tips on how to get things done here in the neighborhood via 311 submissions. So, Silvio, please.
Yes, of course. Hello, everyone. My name is Silvio Rodriguez. As you guys know, I work for Dallas 311. I am an outreach specialist that we go into the communities, educate communities about the city service. But before we start and go a little bit further, I want to explain to Miss Susanna one thing. Like the Dallas 311, when you create a service request, Dallas 311 don't have the power to close a case. Most of the cases when they are created, we created the case and we escalate the case to the right department. For any reason, if you created a service request and you feel the service request has not been fulfilled your need or the service request has been closed, you can call back Dallas 311. You can open a complement complaint to the department and one of the supervisors who work in Dallas 311 will be escalate the case for you. Sometimes, depending of the department, they close the cases, but the case is still being pending internally, like probably going to be the case, the one that is missing the part. That's not to say they're not going to work on it. They close the case because at this moment, they are not able to fix the problem. I want to stand your side because when the citizen see the case has been closed without the action, you have in your back in your mind, oh, they closed my case, nothing has been done, right? And every single time when you see a situation like this, feel free to contact Dallas 311, or you can send an email to us for Dallas 311 as well, or you can even send an email to the 311 outreach department, and we'll be more than glad to escalate the case for you. Okay? But like just
There's
to let
not another, Silvio, there's not another status that the department can use that doesn't close it?
they do, and sometimes they put on pending status, right? But like that depend of the situation, like the case can be open for 1 month or a little bit more. If you feel the situation that the case has been closed and nothing has been taken or nothing has been done, feel free to contact Dallas 311 because we do have an internal contact with the directors, with the supervisors to each department, and we will be escalating the case to them. And like
Right, but just to clarify, there is a status called pending
they
that the
do.
department should have used in this case
Yeah,
to pend the 311 until they got the parts. That's what they
correct.
should have done.
Correct. But if you contact Dallas 311 of the resident go inside of the service request, they're gonna have a note inside the service request say why the case has been closed. 100% for the cases, if they close, they have to put a note inside. And they need to let you know, hey, the case have been closed, but we are working on, or is missing part or has been escalated to different department. Because sometimes you create a service request and the service request don't go to that department, they close, but they redirect the case to a different department. Like if you call $311, we'll be more than glad to see the notes, or if you create on the app, every single time when you close a service request, the information of why the case has been closed is gonna be there on your app. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, but I just needed to know that there is a actual status that could have been used in
Yeah.
this.
Did
Uh,
you if you don't mind later on, if you have the residence or the citizen's telephone number, I can pull up the service request and take a look,
I will.
and I'll be back with you.
Yeah, no problem. I'll look for it while you're doing your update and training.
All right, I'm gonna be very quick. Actually, I wanna apologize myself because I prepared the material in Spanish. You guys are gonna see the slide in Spanish, but I'll be more than glad to be speak in English. Okay? Or if that's okay for you all.
Yes, that's perfect. Yeah, either way.
All right, let me go ahead and share my page. Okay?
Okay. Okay, let me think. Go ahead. You should be able to now.
Give me just a second. All right, you guys able to see my screen?
Not yet, but
Hold on.
there's something's coming.
There you go.
There you go.
All right. My name is Silvio Rodriguez. I work for the communication department on Dallas 311. And give me a second. And just to let you know, Dallas 311 is the main way for you to be in contact with the city. We are open 24/7. We never close the department like Monday through Saturday. But just to give you a little bit history about Dallas 311, we are the second 311 in the nation, right? We started in 1997, and 311 was created to remove the backlog of the 911. There's a lot of people call 911, and it was not an emergency. And the city of Dallas feel the need with the other big cities to create the 311, and with that, we remove most of the calls that was going to 911 from the non-emergencies coming to Dallas 311. Uh, just to give an idea, that at the Dallas 311, we have close to 200 different service requests, and our goal is to enhance the quality of life of the Dallas resident, right? If you can call us anytime, we will be available to help and assist. As I mentioned to you before, Dallas 311 is open 24/7. You can call 311 to report problems with code, Dallas Animal Service, sanitation, parking, streets. Even the Dallas 311 team, we are still responsible to get some calls from the water department. If you call after hours to report an emergency, like a main break or your pipe is burst on the middle of the night, you don't know what to do, you still can call Dallas 311. We also, inside the Dallas 311, we are receiving the calls to Dallas Municipal Court. If you receiving a ticket for Dallas Police, you don't know which actions to take, you don't know where to go, you don't know how much is your ticket, which kind of option do you have as a citizen? Are you able to see a judge so you can dispute your ticket? You can call Dallas 311. We'll be more than glad to provide the information to you. With Dallas 311 as well, we have something called Dallas City Hall on the Go. That's a van that you bring to the community. We go to all 14 districts in the city of Dallas, right? And at this moment, I'm so happy because we just purchased our second van. We're going to have more people on the streets to help and assist the community. All the vans, they have a computer system, like they have like 3 laptops, you have a printer, and people can come to us. You can do a service request on the spot, and we also can come educate the community about the city service. 311 is you if you are inside of city of Dallas, you only call 311. But if you outside of the city limits, like if you go to Carrollton or you go to Denton, you are in Fort Worth, and you remember saying, oh, I have to call dollar 31 because I saw a pothole, you have to call the full number, 214-670-311. Because if you try to call 311, since you're not inside the city limits, the call that doesn't go through, right? You can visit the Dallas 301 online. You can submit a service request online, or you can download the app. I tell people the time the app is the easiest way for you to submit a service request. If you call Dallas 301 between the hours 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, you're gonna have a whole time, right? Like we have the bad weather, the lines are the lines are very busy. If you have the app, you can submit the service request the right way. And the great thing about the app is you can take pictures of the problem. You can use the GPS inside the app, and you'll be know exactly the location where you are if no problem at all. And like anyone in the community, they need help in how to download the app, how they can submit a service request. The outreach team is here to help to assist the community with any service request they may have. We can say people all the time, like if you have an emergency, don't call 311, you have to call 911. The only emergency that the 311 will be attending if you have like a burst pipe in the middle of the night, you have a main break in the middle of the streets, or if you have a traffic light that is not working, right? We consider that as an emergency, you can call Dallas 311. But like if you see here gunshots or you see any type of violence, or fighting, and that's supposed to be going to the 911. We state people that the best way to do it is you identify the issue, we request the service, and you're gonna get a notification. Every single time, every single time, when you create a service request, you're gonna get a service request number. With that service request number, you'll be able to contact the Dollar Store One department. Like Miss Susan was mentioning that someone created a service request, she can contact Dollar Store One and ask for an update. Right. If your service request have been closed, with that service request number, if you don't see notated on a service request, feel free to contact the Dollar Store One that you'll be more than glad to go ahead and escalate the case. I can say to request a service online is the easiest way. We have over here code concerns, sanitation, and water waste line located. That's one of the type of the case that do we have a big number, a big volume of calls. And if you wanna go to code concern, you're gonna click over there on code concern, or you can type the word, the word that you better be looking for. Any type of like you can say trash, you can say sanitation, you can say any animal service. They're gonna populate the request for you. When you come to the code concerns, right? I push over here. That's non, the most type of case that we have for code compliance. If you have illegal dumping, litter, junk motor vehicles in the property or on the streets, if you have high weeds, obstructions in alleys, sideway, streets, graffitis, you can contact Dollar 311. You'll be creating a service request and you'll be sending to the right department. And just to let you know, any single case that you see over here, you can contact the 311 over the phone. You can submit through the app, or you can use the website, or if you have the opportunity to see the City Hall on the Go team, like we post on a daily basis on social media like Facebook, Instagram, now, Twitter, and also on the city website, you're gonna see the calendar where we are going to be, and you'll be more than glad to help and assist you if with your service request. We also get the calls from sanitation. Most of the people who live on a property, when you pay your water bill, you pay for water, sanitation, and sewer. Most people doesn't know that. If you have a trash can in your house and the trash can is damaged, is missing the lid, is missing the wheel, they have the broken bars on the front, they have cracks on the side, you can request for repair or you can request for a new one, right? On the trash cans, if you need additional trash can, they're gonna have a charge. They're gonna charge you $15.36 per month. But if you need a new recycle or if you need an extra recycle, there is no charge for the second one. Only if you request the three or more, they start to charge you $50. We also, on the sanitation side, if your trash is scheduled to be picked by Wednesday, and the guy doesn't come until after 9 o'clock at night, you can call Dallas 311 because we generally you have a time limit like they have until 8 o'clock at night to come pick it up your trash. If they don't come for any reason, you have to wait until that time so you can contact us so you can escalate with the sanitation to know what's happened. Most of the time when the sanitation miss to pick it up someone's trash is because someone put in the wrong place or because someone overfilled the trash can, right? Like if you guys know, like our truck is a mechanical truck. If the trash can lid is not closing properly, when they put the trash inside the truck, they're gonna put trash in everywhere. And some sanitation people, they wanna leave the trash behind, right? And talk about the sanitation as well. We have a program called Help Hands. If you know any senior who are disabled. They cannot put the trash outside. We have a program that the sanitation services can come to your house, open a garage, put the trash outside, and put the trash back. But for that program, the resident and the citizen, they needed to have a doctor note. Uh, Let them know they are disabled, they are not in a condition to put the trash side, and they'll be signed up for that program for free if no cost. We also inside Dallas 311, we get the call for Dallas Animal Service, right? If you see a loose animal, a dead animal on the street. Could be a squirrel, but it is dead, you can get $201. They have the community cat program, like if you live on a property in an area they have too many cats, you can call the community cat program with $311. They're gonna trap the cat, they're gonna neuter the cat, they're gonna release the cat back. If you see an animal confined or animal bite or aggressive animal or a dog who doesn't stop to bark all night, you try to sleep, your neighbor doesn't put the dog to sleep as well, feel free to contact Dallas 311. And to a lot of people, they are here right now. I also said the if you live inside an apartment complex, right? My obligation my obligation is to pay the rent, right? But your right is to have an apartment maintained. Like you cannot live inside of an apartment complex without hot water, air conditioning, lack of repairs, or infestation of bugs. If you already spoke to the property manager and you feel that they are not listening to you or they are not doing what they're supposed to do, you also can contact Dallas 311 and we're going to be more than glad to open a service request. They cannot retaliate against you, right? They cannot come to you, oh, now you complain with with the city of Dallas, now we're going to raise your rent or we're going to ask you to move out. They cannot retaliate against you. If those things happening in your property, feel free to open a service request with Dallas 311 contacting us because the case will be escalated and the city attorneys are going to be involved. They want to know what's going on, what's happening. Okay, the easiest way to do it, if you want to submit a complaint, you come here to the city code violations, and they're gonna open to you the prompts. Like they're gonna ask, that's a rental property. You're gonna click yes. What kind of problem are you having? You're gonna they have you can select, or you can type the information that you need. That one thing that I like to let people know, especially for the people who live in apartment and in some areas, that the Dallas 311, we have a translation line. With that translation line, you can translate to up 150 language. There is no people who live in the city of Dallas that is not going to be heard. We want to help everyone. We want to make sure that everybody has the thing what they need and creating a way for the people can report the things for the city of Dallas. If you don't know what is your category your service request to go, you should can create a service request as a miscellaneous that the system going to find out which the proper department and they're going to create to the right department. Okay. Most of the service requests when you create it, they take about to 1 to 5 business days, depend on the type of the service request that you created. And I think I spoke too much. If you have any question regarding to Dallas 311, I'll be more than glad to help and assist. Se tenemos alguna persona que habla español que necessita hacer perguntas acerca de sua propriedade ou da sua vivenda e de sua calle, estamos aqui para assistir.
Okay, thank you, Silvio.
Claro que sim.
Any questions?
I was hoping Silvio was going to break into song since it is one of my favorite singers, but that's Rodriguez with a Z.
And you know, Susan, I love to sing. Oh.
Un unicornio azul. Okay.
I think Marco just shared I think a link to the app or frequently asked questions in the chat.
Okay. And I'd like to apologize because I say that I have the file in Spanish, but I got like 3 screen and open up in English. But if you have the Spanish version, I do have it and I can send it to you all.
Yeah, thank you. Any questions for Silvio?
Yeah, Silvio, if you can send that, we will post it with Michael on the Friends of Bachman Lake website, both the English and the Spanish version. That'd be great.
Of course, and Susan, anytime that you need us to come to a meeting or talk to the residents, we'll be more than glad to do it. That one thing that I learned, like we had I believe it was a Bachman meeting as well for an apartment that I went, and the meeting went in a different way. I end up submitting 100 service requests for the resident. That's not the goal. The goal is to educate the resident, show them how to do it, so that they can do it themselves anytime, in any moment. Like if you need me to come back to present in Spanish para todos que estão presentes, haré com muito gusto. É parte de mi trabajo. It's part of my work. I'd love to do it.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Councilman, I don't know if Laura, I think he's with you on the phone. I don't know if he wants to make any comments. I mean, none are expected, but
Yes, hold on.
sure.
Hi, everybody. How are you all? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I'm stepping out so I can hear better. Hi. Happy New Year, everybody. Just wanted to stop in and thank you all. Thank you to all of our city staff for all the presentations. That was really awesome, wasn't it? They do a really fantastic job, and I will tell you, if you will utilize them by calling the numbers that they told you, or contacting folks, or contacting my office, you will get results. And sometimes you do have to wait a little bit longer than others because not everything can be fixed with the snap of the fingers, but a lot of things can be. And the more you report, the better, because that gives us the ammunition we need at council to get more budget and to get more dollars for certain departments. So please continue doing that. And again, thank you to our city staff for joining, staying after work a little bit later and doing these presentations. They are so impactful and important to our communities. Big updates here in our district. As you all are probably very well aware, we as you just heard it about the skate parks that's coming on. So I'll leave that as y'all already heard all about that. Then also, we have been doing a lot at the city council over the holidays and things to make sure that as we move forward with our search for the city manager, that gets completed. So this past weekend we had meetings on Saturday, two, one in the north, one in the south, and one downtown. Two on Saturday and one on yesterday. I did attend the one downtown and the one yesterday, and we have three finalists that have applied, and the search firm did all those meetings. On Wednesday, the city council will do interviews with those final three as a full council. Those will not be public because it's considered human resources. It will be an executive session, and our hope is that by the time we leave on Wednesday, we have um, appointed, or I guess we can't say appointed, but said who the finalists will be for city manager for the city of Dallas. And then next week on the 22nd, we will finalize and actually appoint the person by approving their contract. So those things are going on. If you didn't have a chance to go to anything, they were recorded. I believe they're on our website, our city website. So you can take a look there if you wanted to go see those folks give their presentations and some of the Q&A that was from the general public. For those of you, I just realized I didn't say what a city manager was. The city manager is actually the chief operating officer for the city. I am kind of like, we're the board for the city and we create policy, and it's the city manager's job to implement that policy. And then all the staff you just heard from, except for the parks person, all the city staff work for the city manager under that person's umbrella. Parks department works under the parks director, and the park board, which y'all know Tim Dickey is our park board member. The park board is responsible for hiring and appointing the park board director, not the city council. So with that, that's why this is so important, because you want things to work, you want things to fix or what have you. It's important to have a really great city manager. So I think we had a really great city manager before, and I think that we are going to find one of these three candidates that I believe that one of them is going to just be exceptional. But I still want to have my personal interview with all three of them, because what if I miss something, right? And it wouldn't be fair if I was already saying who I think I'm leaning or who I think should be, because if I did, then it's not fair to the other two candidates. So I want to give each of them a really good shot to talk to me and answer a lot of my questions. And if you all have questions, please send them to me, because I represent you guys, and I want to make sure I select the right hire for us. So that's the big one. And then I'm just going to finish with this one. I've got some sad news tomorrow. No, Wednesday. On Wednesday, Laura Cadena, our chief of staff, will be leaving the city of Dallas and no longer working in the office. It's bittersweet because I've worked 7.5 years with her and her with y'all. But I don't want to stand in her way to do great things. And we all owe her a lot. I promised I wouldn't cry. But I know you all know how great she is and amazing, and so do I. And I don't know how I'm gonna finish these last 5 months without her by my side. But I'll figure it out, because we still have Marco and we still have Robert, who are going to be stepping in to really help us get the jobs done that we need to, because we have 5 more months in my term on my last and final term on office and my administration, and I'm really looking forward to the future, and I'm just going to leave it at that. And if you have a chance or an opportunity, please um, text her or email her or Facebook her or whatever it is. She did announce it on Facebook last week, on social media, but that she was leaving the city. But I think it's still really nice, and she would love to hear from everybody and anybody who wants to tell her just thank you for everything she's done the last 7.5 years with the city of Dallas and working with me. Never working for me, working with me every step of the way. And I just know that her future looks very bright and very great. So thank you, everybody. If I don't know if Joe, you want to ask for any questions, but I saw some applause there for that thing. So thank you.
Yeah, neighbors, any questions?
I don't have a question, but tell Laura she cannot leave.
Say again?
Tell Laura she cannot leave.
I would if I could, but she's got a great opportunity ahead of her,
Good, good. I'm
and I hope
happy
she
for her.
achieves it. So,
Okay. Well, the neighbors, then I guess now it's the open forum portion of the meeting. Any events or updates for the benefit of the community?
oh, is that for me?
No, I think, no.
Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't think there's any other questions for you, Omar. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you,
here
thank
and
you,
jumping in.
thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Thanks,
Yeah,
everybody. Y'all have a good one.
yeah,
You
yeah,
too. Actually, I do.
yeah, go ahead, please.
Dallas 311 is partnership with Dallas Community College, Dallas College, and we'll be teaching with Dallas 311 and the Office of Community Care, free classes for the senior. I'll be sending the schedule to you, and I think the first class is gonna happen February 4th, and I'll be sending the flyer. Actually, the first course that we're going to be on District 6 is open to everyone. And there's a lot of resources of a city service program, like information for seniors about the dental service, about transportation. Whatever you think about the senior service, that's going to be a great opportunity for you to be at one of the community colleges. And District 6 is going to be here in the beginning of February. I'll be sending you the information so everybody can go. It's free, there's no charge, and I want to see our beautiful faces over there.
Okay, thank you. Any other updates? Jeff, any events at Parkland happening?
No, I mean, we're just getting back in the swing of things. Things were kind of slow over the holidays as usual, so we'll be ramping some things back up here at the end of the month.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you for being here. Patrick, maybe an update on the rowing?
Yeah, let me give you a really brief update. For those of you that don't know, we've started a new rowing club at the rec center, and we won a grant for 20 rowing machines to put into DISD schools over the next 5 years. And so we've just in the last 2.5 months, we were at Thomas Jefferson for about 3 weeks, and we just moved to Townview. We're there, 2.5, 3 weeks as well. And over that period, we had over 1,000 students on the machines, at least 5, 6, 7 times. And just got the surveys in from the students here last Friday. 660 of them responded. And the good news is that over 200 of them wanted to do a field trip to either come to Bachman Rec Center or to the other 3 rowing clubs in town and check it out. About 100 are interested in doing an indoor rowing competition, which we have one coming up at Jesuit High School in February. And they've actually set up a special event at that regatta just for kids that are going through this erg ed program. So they don't have to race against St. Mark's and Hockaday and all that. They're just racing DISD kids. So to give them an introduction to rowing, about 85 want to do a rowing camp, and almost 80 are interested in actually joining a rowing team. If we had 80 kids join, we would be the second largest rowing club in Dallas, behind Dallas United Crew. We'd be bigger than all the rest of them. That's just 2 schools. We've moved the ergs to Kimball. We're starting out there Wednesday, and we've hit 1,000 kids. Our goal is to hit 8,000 kids a year with this program. I don't know how we're going to do that, but that's what the people that gave us the ergs encouraged us to try to do. So, but it's been well received. The people at TJ and Townview were just amazing. The coaches, the reception, the support. It's just been phenomenal. And then facility wise, we're still waiting to get a permit to put our docks on the water and put up a little shed. But David Fawn at the Dallas Water Utilities has really stepped up and is now really helping us on this permit process that's been kind of slow, but he's really helping now. So I think we're going to get across the finish line next couple of weeks, I hope. And then we'll have a full-blown rowing program with 14 shells and access to the water, and we can get things rolling. So just we've been blessed. It's been great. Thank you, Joe.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. No, thank you. It's really been great to see it grow That's super exciting. Any other updates? I think our next meeting here will be February the 10th, the second Monday of the month at 6. I think that's right. Yeah, it should be February 10th. So mark your calendars.
Hi, Joe. I had a quick update.
Good.
That kind of has to do with 311 and advocating for parks. I know Friends of Bachman Lake has reached out to our office a couple of times, as well as other members from Bachman Lake area. And I'm dropping it in the chat here. But they successfully installed like 10 new garbage canisters all around the north eastern side of the park. They received enough 311 requests and did an assessment to realize that they needed more canisters out there for folks to dispose of their garbage. So hopefully that will also help keep the park clean. They're gonna keep monitoring it to see if more are needed. But this is kind of a prime example of how submitting those 311 requests and contacting our office really does make a difference to stuff like this.
Thank you, Marco. Anything else? Susanna, anything else? I don't think we have anything else. Okay,
You know,
everyone.
I
Yeah, go ahead.
took place after the last meeting, but I just wanted to let everybody know that it was extremely successful. The resurrection of Santa photos at Bachman Lake in early December. And I wanted to thank the members of Friends of Bachman Lake that led that effort. I think it was just so heartwarming to see the photos of all the kids and their excitement to see Santa out at the park.
Yeah. Anything else? Anyway, well, good to see everyone in the new year. If there's nothing else, then I'll see everyone next month. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Joe.